outside? Should I run and hide? How do I take my company worldwide? Do you love the law? Did you watch Hee-Haw? What's the weirdest thing that you ever saw? What's it like in court? Favorite sport? Can you help with my book report? Is my hair too long? Am I right or wrong? And do you mind if I sing along to anything? Ask Alan anything in the world.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of Ask Alan, the podcast. I'm Alan Crone, the CEO of the Crone Law Firm, and I've got a great guest with me today, Tiffani Morrow Smith, who is the Executive Director of Reach Memphis, which is a great organization. She's going to tell us a lot about it. Tiffani, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
Oh, it's my pleasure. You really classed the joint up. I appreciate you being on here. Well, let's get right to it. Many of our listeners may not know that much about Reach Memphis and the good work you do. Tell us a little bit about, kind of what it does and where you're going.
Yeah, so Reach Memphis is actually an organization that has been operating in the Memphis community for nearly 55 years. So we've got a longstanding history of serving high school students. So Reach Memphis is an organization that connects with local high school students, particularly sophomores through seniors, and we support them on their journey to higher education. So in their time with us, one of the special features of the Reach Memphis experience is going on a summer experience. So those students join us in the program in their sophomore year. We spend time with them. We provide them with mentors, academic counseling and support, leadership skill building and development. And then they have the opportunity to go away outside of Memphis to experience what life looks like outside of the 901. And that experience has truly been transformational for the thousands of alumni who have gone through the program. They're often at prep schools, universities, or at leadership retreats, but they're able to spend between 2 weeks and 5 weeks, just enhancing their skills and abilities, learning about different environments, taking a peek into what it would look like in their choice of career field. And then when they come back, we really wrap our arms around them and help them prepare for what's next. And so they have mentors that prepare them for college applications, support them in essay writing, building those communication skills. We have a variety of workshops and facilitators. They also have access to what we call our scholar group. So we have working professionals in the Memphis community, lawyers, folks in engineering, business leaders who come and spend time with our students. They even provide them internships or shadowing opportunities. And so it's a really, really enriching experience for any student who participates. I have been with the organization a short time, but everyone that I've encountered had said it's truly been transformational for them. So many of our students say they would not have gone to college if it wasn't for Reach Memphis. They wouldn't have the jobs that they have currently and living the lives that they live currently if it had not been for them embarking on that Reach Memphis journey. And so we're very, very proud of the work that we've been doing, but believe that we have a lot more in store for us in the future.
Sure. What are the qualifications that you need to have in order to be a participant in the program at the youth level?
Yeah, so we primarily welcome students in their sophomore year. So there is an application process. They will complete application, provide letters of recommendations from perhaps a counselor or a teacher. They go through an interview process. Many of our students perform very high academically, but we are, certainly not limiting the experience to those top performing students. But we tend to have a lot of students that are performing very well academically. They just have to have a time commitment, right? So you've got to invest to get out, and so we have a number of weekend and evening sessions that they are responsible for being a part of. And then also those parents trusting us with their students and allowing them to go away and spend time away from the family is quite a big deal for a lot of families. And so we just want to ensure that they're comfortable with that. But ultimately, it's open to students within the Memphis metro area, although we primarily serve folks in Memphis proper.
Both public and private schools, or you focus just on the public schools?
Yeah, we focus primarily on public schools. We do have a number of students that are in private schools, perhaps on scholarships, or aren't able to financially take on that burden. And so those additional supports can oftentimes be helpful for that demographic of students. So we really try to provide the services to the public school students who, frankly, we know that those counselors are oftentimes stretched. They aren't able to provide that one-on-one support for many of our students. And so we help supplement the work that's happening in schools by providing them that college counselor that will help them prepare for that journey. Whereas we know some of the private schools have a little bit more, resources in terms of the staff capacity. We know the public schools oftentimes struggle with that. And so we want to make sure that no student goes without those much needed services.
Sure, sure. Well, give us an idea of it seems like I heard you say that they come and do things weekly with your organization. What are the kinds of things that they're doing each week to help them advance?
Yeah, so it really depends on what they're interested in. We really take time to get to know our students individually and provide recommendations on things that we believe will enhance them in a variety of ways, both academically, professionally, and personally. And so, for example, if you're a student that is interested in, the medical field, we have a partnership with Smith and Nephew, and we have folks from that great organization come in every other week to spend time with those students, talk about their work and their professional journeys, but also expose them to what it might look like to go into the medical field. We also offer engineering. We have a great partnership with Junior League of Memphis. Those fantastic ladies. I'm a great fan of that organization, as I've been a member as well. And so those ladies spend time with the students, talking to them about what college life will look like. If you've never been away from your family, that's quite a transition. And so what does it look like to go to a place with all types of different people? What does it look like to have a roommate? What does it look like to, have a bunch of classes, and perhaps you've performed very well academically, but you've got this one professor that's really giving you the business, right? You've got to learn to use your resources to take advantage of what's on your college campus. And so we try to make sure that they're as prepared as possible. We also provide tutoring as they prepare for the ACT. We provide prep opportunities. We also provide workshops like communication skill building. We have a great partner in the J.U. Barral Foundation that provides us the opportunity to bring a cohort of students together every Saturday. And they are enhancing their leadership and communication skills. And so whether it's managing conflict, public speaking, being able to just comfortably express themselves as individuals. It's a great curriculum. We have facilitators that are here locally. We've got some folks that fly in just to facilitate these sessions. So it's a top tier program experience.
What give us some examples of some of the travel experiences. What kind of locations are they going to, and what are they doing when they get there?
Yeah, while we have a couple of partners that are here within Tennessee, many of our students go away, and it's their first time on an airplane for many of those students. And so we actually spend those early mornings with those students. I actually had the opportunity to take a group of students to Deer Hill, Colorado. And so it was, really a unique experience. I want to say only one of the students that travel had actually been on an airplane. And so going through, security at the airport, saying goodbye to your parents, full of tears and, we're super scared, but letting, those parents know that they're going to be fine, that they've been well prepared for this opportunity. We make sure that they have transportation on the other side of the airport once they reach their destination. So we, relinquish all worries and make sure that they're certainly safe. But that is, a big part of what we do. We cover much of that cost. Parents that are able to contribute have the opportunity to, but many of our families don't have the ability to contribute. And so our work is really to supplement those travel costs, Ubers or airplanes. Some actually travel by plane or by car. It really depends. So we've got a lot of partners in New Hampshire. We've got students who are all up and down the East Coast. We've got a variety of locations, and we take very special care in matching our students to a particular university or school that we think will enhance their experience best.
That sounds great. Well, what kind of metrics do you have? Success metrics? How many of your program participants go on to graduate college and pursue a career?
Yeah, the majority of them actually. That's something that we're really proud of. Right now, we're looking at about 2,600 alumni. And if you think over the span of 55 years, right, we've got a diverse group of folks in a variety of places within their career journeys. We have students who, are just coming back to Memphis who are looking for a job that have just graduated, and we support those students in finding job placements within this community. But we realized that there actually was a great need to support students beyond high school. And so we actually increased our services. So they don't leave us once they graduate from high school. We stay with them in college to make sure that they're able to finish. Again, that transition can be very different for a lot of our students. And so having someone that they can call to help support them and navigate that college environment means a lot to our students. And so whether it's a staff person or a mentor that they stay in touch with, because many of our college students still have mentors, they're able to just be a resource to call day and night. But we have a great success rate in terms of college graduation and folks that are doing very well within the Memphis community. We've got educators, we've got attorneys, we've got, entrepreneurs, we've got people who live, in New York and DC and California, but a good amount of folks here in Memphis, even some local elected officials as well. So we've seen a lot of great success as a result of the Reach Memphis programming.
Great. It sounds like your program is as much or more focused on what they call soft skills as it is on academics. I mean, you help with the academics, but it's all the collateral supportive skills that you need to be successful. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely, absolutely. We found, while students can certainly perform well academically, they need other things to be competitive. We've got a great number of students who are going to some of the top universities in our country. I was able to celebrate with a student who just got into Yale recently. And it was her journey and her experience and her ability to be able to articulate the things that she's gone through and how she's overcome, and for her, that Reach Memphis experience really helped her to be able to put that into words, for her to have a fantastic college entrance essay, right? And so we believe all of those things matter. We want students to be able to advocate for themselves, to be comfortable in diverse environments, to build resiliency and be confident in their skills and abilities. If they're going off to compete with folks from around the world, we want them to believe in themselves and believe that they're capable of, standing there with the best of them. And so, making sure that we have a very well-rounded curriculum helps us to do that, so that their confidence isn't simply in, their academic performance, but it's in themselves as individuals all the way around.
Sounds like most of your folks are probably first generation college folks.
A good amount are, absolutely. However, I will say we have a number of legacies. That's something that I really enjoyed. Parents, siblings, family members they were the first generation college student. And, they are very, very passionate about making sure that their student gets into Reach Memphis because they know how beneficial it was for them. So I would say we have a mix. I believe we just welcome in a class of 30 sophomores, and I know we have probably at least 3 or 4 legacies within in that class, and so that's a really special experience for us to see folks that we've worked with many, many years ago, or see siblings that have just graduated and they're passing the baton to someone else in the family. It's really, really special for us.
Yeah, that's great. I know, I was privileged to have two parents that had gone to college and, a bunch of cousins. And so, a lot of things that probably is very intimidating for someone who doesn't have any experience with it. For me was, filling out an application, going on a campus visit, all those kinds of things. So to have, for a first generation person to have someone to demystify all of that, puts you well ahead of the game, I would imagine.
Absolutely. You actually made me think of my college journey. And I actually had a very good friend who was a first generation college student. And so while I had the privilege of having, a parent who had gone on to higher education and was, familiar with the process, she was not, her family was not. And so we did everything together. I'm like, what I know, but it was very, very intimidating for her and her family. She had everything that she needed within her to be successful and go on to college. But it can be a very uncomfortable space if you don't even know where to start, right? Financial aid, applications, scholarships. There are just so many things, not to mention what it feels like to be away from my family, or to be away from my family, but still have the burden of supporting a family at home. And so that can be a lot to navigate and a lot of pressure on a young person. And so that is an experience that I think about often as I'm doing this work, because she may not have been able to go to college if she just had to figure it out all by herself. And so it's really, really important that our students have these resources. I met a student at our alumni engagement activity who, by all means was a well-performing student, but he just didn't have the passion and the energy and the drive for college. For his mother, graduating for high school was enough. As long as you met that benchmark, you were good. But it was his summer experience and having folks to encourage him. No, college is going to be a great experience for you, and we're going to be here to help you navigate that experience. That led him to go on to college and then also achieve higher education, a master's degree as well. And so, again, I just can't speak enough about the impact of having this kind of support within our local community and what it means to our next generation.
That sounds great. Well, Tiffani, every superhero has an origin story. So what's your origin story? How did you get to be the executive director of Reach Memphis?
Yes, that's a great question. I've had quite a journey. So I'm actually a native of Chapel Hill, North Carolina, who has found myself in Memphis, Tennessee, which I call home now. I've been in Memphis for nearly 12 years. My background is actually sports. So I grew up as a sports lover. My dad was a coach, and so I spent my life in the gym, literally. One of the things that I found most interesting about sports and watching my father do what he did was his ability to connect with young people, right? As you're growing and you're developing, there are a lot of special moments in between a coach and a player. And so I also found a passion for young people. And so I decided that that would be my career path. I wanted to go in sports. I, realized very quickly that I wasn't going to be able to own a professional sports team. So I
Not
had
yet.
to my
Not
dream.
yet. Not yet.
I like how you think, right? Not yet. I'm still working on that, but I realized that working in sports was something that I thought would be really, really amazing, right? The impact that you're able to have. And so I went after obtaining a teacher education degree in exercise and sports science from my undergraduate school. I went on to get a master's degree in sport management, and that provided me the opportunity to connect with a lot of sports organizations like NASCAR, IMG Academy. I did some time with the New York Jets, and then a few other things, game day things with the Braves as I was in New York City, and realized, man, this is a really special place, a really special environment. There are very few places, right, in any city in any given time where you'll have people from all different economic situations, all different skin colors, backgrounds, geographical locations, all in one place, celebrating, full of joy and laughter, right? And all that you're able to do on that community engagement side. And so I actually took a position with the Memphis Grizzlies Foundation to help them on their mentoring program. It was a school-based mentoring program, the Grizzlies Team Mentor Program. I joined the team there as they were attempting to grow and expand that program, and just fell in love with the work, fell in love with Memphis. And so it's been a number of years, 7 seasons working on that mentoring program, helping to grow and expand that across a number of public charter schools in Memphis, and then had the opportunity to step into a role where I served as the Tennessee State Liaison for Mentor National. So the Grizzlies Foundation houses Mentor Memphis Grizzlies. And so I had the ability to work with a lot of different nonprofits within our community that wanted to do great work. So being able to take the resources that the Grizzlies had, the brand, the backing, and provide, a gateway to those nonprofits to gain exposure, to increase their number of volunteer mentors, to serve more young people, I realized, wow, this is really, really a special opportunity to be able to have this type of impact and see what it can do for our city. And so, I wholeheartedly believe in the power of mentoring. And so as I was, approached with an opportunity to take a jump to go a bit deeper in youth development and that nonprofit work, I couldn't think of a better organization than Reach Memphis. So while I'm leaving the professional sports side behind, I've really developed a great passion for Memphis specifically and the next generation of Memphis. And so Reach Memphis has afforded me a great opportunity to drive that work. It's a fantastic organization. I stand on the shoulders of many, many great leaders who have really pushed this work forward. Margaret Ryan, who is recently retired, was the previous executive director and did a phenomenal job with the organization. And so I'm just really privileged to be able to take it into its next iteration and hopefully serve more young people.
Well, yeah, in one very real respect, you're a head coach.
I love it. I couldn't be more honored.
You're a head coach. I'm sure your dad is proud of you because what a great life. You're going to be able to look back at some point and not only see the people that you've helped, but the generations beyond that you've helped. Because every person that goes on to a better life, that means their children and grandchildren have the opportunity. And so I'm envious that of the impact that you're having, because the organization is great and you're great, and it's great that Memphis got you.
Yes, it got me. It got
So
me.
we have to make sure you don't leave.
Yes. I am honored to serve in this great city. It's very few cities that I feel like you're able to see the fruits of your labor, the impact that you're having. And so while we certainly have our challenges and our frustrations within the city, there are a lot of people committed to the growth and development of Memphis, Tennessee, and changing the narrative, right? And I believe that young people are a very key part of that. And so I feel so very fortunate to have this opportunity to be able to be just a small piece of that.
Yeah, poverty is pernicious, and one of the ways that it's pernicious is that it really limits your horizon and limits your vision. And what y'all are doing is getting people up above that horizon so they can see beyond what's right in front of them. And so that's great. Time has flown by, Tiffani. I sure appreciate your time. And can you tell folks how they can help Reach Memphis?
Yeah, so if you want to learn more about Reach Memphis, you can visit us at www.reachmemphis.org. We're also on Facebook and Instagram as well at Reach Memphis. You can get a sneak peek into what our weekly programming looks like, learn about our mentors as it's National Mentoring Month. And you also can support us financially. You know, it costs money to be able to send these students off, and we want to make sure that every student who, wishes to have this type of experience is afforded this experience. And so you're more than welcome to donate. You can donate on at reachmemphis.org. We would be honored to have your time and energy as well. You can volunteer with us as a facilitator, as a volunteer mentor, as a general volunteer, just to support the work that we're doing. We also are oftentimes looking for businesses to partner with as well. We love to get our young people in front of great business leaders in the Memphis community. And so if you are a business leader out there who's interested in getting more involved in the Memphis community, I would certainly love to connect with you. And again, my information's on reachmemphis.org as well.
All right. Well, I wasn't doing something else. I went ahead and liked Reach Memphis
There we go.
on Facebook. It took me 2 seconds,
Thank
and
you.
I'm looking forward to following y'all now. So Tiffani, again, thank you. That's all the time we have, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. And if you enjoyed this podcast, please share it on social media, or if you got it by an email link, share the email link with someone you think would benefit from it. Let's get the word out about Reach Memphis and what they're doing for folks. Tiffani is going to go elevate the lives of a lot of young Memphians, and I'm going to go get some justice. So thank you all very much.